Chinaza Uche stars in Silo, coming to Apple TV Plus on May 5th. He could also be seen in A Good Person in theaters now. This is really your time. Congratulations on all your success.
Wow, I really appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, I feel good. I cannot complain.
Tell us
Yeah.
a little bit about Silo and the character of Paul.
Yeah, so Silo, the society they're living in is based around this book called The Pact, which is a bunch of laws that were passed down by their founders. And Paul is probably the most devout follower of these laws. He knows all of them. And over this season, thanks to Juliet, some of that identity he's built on, that is challenged, and he's forced to maybe consider something between those lines.
There's a big ensemble cast in this series. Talk a little bit about kind of working with everybody, and of course we got Chicago's own Common in the
Come
series, David
on.
Oyelowo, Rashida Jones. I mean, so many people to chat with and get inspiration. What was it like working with everybody?
I mean, they're all amazing. Genuinely, I feel like I'm learning every day, and everybody. I mean, so the thing with Rashid Khan is, you just try to pretend that you're not a super fan of his, but in between takes, he might be off to the side just freestyling to himself, and you're just like, yo, come on. So it's really, it's really fun to work with heroes. It really is, and there's a lot of people on this set that I really look up to. Just trying to soak in.
As far as the books go, obviously a hugely popular series. Do you go back and read them? Do you try to make the character your own? Tell me a little bit about the inspiration from the books.
Well, I read the three books before we started shooting because I just wanted to take in as much as possible. But the show is different from the books. It's like, thanks to with Hugh's blessing, they're digging into details that aren't explored as much in the books. So after I've read them, I've got the foundation, and now I just take the ride with the writers.
I love this sci-fi post-apocalyptic world. And this is like I would just want to sit there and just like stare at everything going on. What was it like to kind of to come to work every day?
No, totally. It's the sets are outrageous. They're amazing. More of it is built than you would believe. We've got working apartments with working showers, and every button actually does something. It's a pleasure to come into work with that kind of like, with that as your playground. I mean, the job is just so much easier, and you're blown away.
You said the books are not necessarily part of the series, and they take a couple of different turns.
Yes.
But as far as the character of Paul, how are we going to see him maybe different from the series versus the books?
What I will say is that I think in the series we dig into his home life a little bit more because there's space to see where do these people go home to at night? What are they doing when they're not on duty? And I think you get to see, at least in Paul, a whole different color to this guy.
That's amazing. And then let's talk a little bit quickly here before we go about A Good Person. Huge rave reviews, working with Zach Braff, working with Florence Pugh, Morgan Freeman. I mean, talk a little bit about that project and just the accolades that film had gotten.
I mean, I think that movie, first of all, they're all wonderful. Florence is an amazing person. I don't know how she exists. She's so lovely. Morgan is obviously Morgan Freeman. So it was just a pinch myself moment. And Zach, he poured his heart into that script. So I hear day after day people being really touched and moved. And that was one of my dreams when I was a kid. I mean, that's what you want to do. So I'm still reeling from that. And then I come to this. I just work with great actors at this point, and I just try to not get in their way.
Well,
No, I feel very lucky.
well, congratulations on all your successes. This is definitely a moment here for you. And definitely go ahead and check out Silo premiering May 5th on Apple TV Plus. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much, Rudy.